With Heroku ending its free tier in November, the community is in chaos and is looking for alternatives. So today we're going to explore a few alternatives to deploying your sites nearly cheaply or almost free if you're in free tier on AWS. So the deployment is completely serverless. We're not going to be creating any servers. You can follow along with any front-end framework, Vue, React, Next.js, any site. All of them allows you to export the static assets. I'm going to use React in this tutorial, but you can follow along with any of the tools. You don't really have to follow exactly the same. So we're going to create a React app. This default template, you can use your own application if you already have one, or just follow along with this tutorial. Now, as you can see, we just created a React app called demo. I'm going to run this just so we can see what default template looks like. If you're not aware about React, if it's your first go. So this is what it's going to be, a simple default application. Now, all you need to do is generate static assets that we will need to deploy. So just do npm run build, and it's going to create a build directory. Inside you'll find HTML, CSS, and all the static assets that you need to deploy your application. We're inside AWS console. We're going to quickly create an S3 bucket. Now, S3 is similar to Google storage buckets. All it does is store your files. Now, you can try the bucket name. The bucket name is globally unique, so you can try multiple times and should be good. Now, I'm going to enable the server-side encryption as a best practice, and there's nothing you have to worry about. Now, all you can do is upload all the content of the build directory in this bucket. I'm just going to go ahead and upload everything. Again, just have to ensure that you're uploading it correct, and then index.html is in the root directory. So let's serve our site. So I'm going to go to Cloudfront and create a distribution. Now the origin will be the S3 bucket that we stored our files into, and just scroll down in the origin access. So as a bucket is private, we need to allow Cloudfront to access those files stored in the bucket. By default, it won't be, so I'm going to use origin access control setting. It's recommended. It's the latest thing as authentication. I'm going to create a control setting. Just name it whatever you want. And I'm going to mostly use the default. All it does is just adds a signature to each request to access file in S3. So S3 validates, and I'll just allow access to this Cloudfront. That's how it works. You can even explore it more in the documentation. You can scroll down, and mostly it will be redirecting HTTP to HTTP. It's a good practice to do that. Get-head is the only support method we want. You can restrict the viewer access, like you're serving some sort of proprietary information, but for us, it's just a public site, so we're not going to do that. The caching policy will be cache optimized. It's best suited for S3. You can change it. You can explore other options that matches your use case. And we're just going to do at the end is use a price classes North America and Europe. You don't really need to use all edge locations unless until you're like really have heavy traffic site. Just stick to these two options. I'm going to root as index.html as our default root object. So if I go to bare URL, this index.html will be served. Now it's going to take some time to deploy, so I'm going to cut to it when it's done. So it's done. You can see the status is deployed. And screen. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy the domain name, and we can see you get an access denied error. So what we have to do is in the distributions, go to origins, and just gonna edit that origin. Now below, we're just gonna do is copy the policy in the access control and go to S3. Now the AWS doesn't do this by default. I don't know why. They can do it, but again, you need to go to the bucket, go to the permissions, and edit the bucket policy and paste the permission we just copied. Now there's extra spaces that has been added by AWS, and it gives you an error. So just ensure you remove those and hit save changes. Now once it's done and the policy is applied, you're all set and good to go. All you have to do is just go back to the domain and refresh your site, and congratulations, you just deployed your site. Hooray! If you find this video useful, do hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends who are looking for solutions to deploy the sites, and share it with everyone.